Raja Jackson can fuck off. Oh yes. For those of you that don't know, for those of you that are living under a rock, somewhere in the States there's a promotion called, Knox Pro Wrestling. I believe it's run by Rikishi, not that that's relevant to this story whatsoever. And Raja Jackson is, to the best of my knowledge, the son of Quinton Rampage Jackson, who's big in UFC. Not going to sit here and speak on UFC because, as you guys know, it's not my speed, it's not my form of entertainment. Nothing against the people that do it. Obviously, they got the balls to get in there and do it. We watched CM Punk try to do it. But yeah, decided to go to an indie show, decided to hop the guardrail, decided to jump a wrestler, and I think somebody said give him about 20 shots to the head after he had lost consciousness. The guy's a piece of shit. It is what it is. Everybody's come out to say their piece. JBL had a pretty good piece to say about it, which people are not going to listen to because it's JBL and you shouldn't listen to JBL. He's got unpopular opinions. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I met a friend of my dad's the other night at a function, at a celebration for my dad, and he says, "Oh, you're one of his kids, and you're the one that watches wrestling. What do you think of the Rampage's son thing?" And I said, "I think he deserves to be in a very, very small box at the bottom of a very, very deep hole." And I stick to that. If you are in boxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu, all the other martial arts that I'm not familiar with, you are a weapon. You don't need to have a gun or a knife or a hatchet. Shout out to the girl in Scotland that was defending herself with a hatchet and is now getting in trouble for it, which is also stupid. You don't need any of those things because you train yourself like that. Your body is a weapon. You took a weapon into the ring and you tried to kill somebody. You're a piece of shit. And the people fundraising for your legal defense fund, even though, your dad is the celebrity that he is, are also a piece of shit. If you're listening to me right now and you are donating to a fund to defend the actions of Raja Jackson against, I believe the guy's name was Psycho Stu, against charges stemming from those horrendous animalistic actions, then you are a piece of shit. And you are not worth the powder to blow you to hell. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. And people have come out. Mark Henry has outed himself as a piece of shit. That's super unfortunate, saying it was Psycho Stu's fault. There was a bit that went down beforehand and it didn't go down properly, so he was upset. Don't care. Oh, he'd been drinking at the show. Don't care. Oh, he might have sustained a concussion at some other time, so he didn't have his wits about him. Don't care. Oh, his dad is he's got a shitty dad that didn't raise him right. I don't care. I don't. I really, really, really don't. And disappointed, to a certain degree, by our community, because this might be an odd comparison, right? You guys have heard me say before, back in the day, back when TV wasn't so censored, I used to be a big fan of Married with Children, and I loved that show because it was really, really hella dysfunctional, and David Faustino, talking about that show, kind of said something along the lines of the Bundys were the perfect family because they bit each other's heads off all the time, but if anybody else came for them, then they unified up and they kicked everybody else's ass, and Kelly had a bad date and Al went and beat the shit out of the guy and all that kind of thing. We can argue amongst ourselves, but when somebody from the outside comes in and fucks with our shit, then it should be a unifying moment, and it's just not. People pointed out that Knox Pro was a WWE ID facility. It's now not. It's now lost that status, but it doesn't matter. WWE had nothing to do with the event. They tried to make it into a tribal thing, which is terrible. People are dunking on all kinds of things. Like I say, Mark Henry, Rob Van Dam, a couple of other people have come out with some really, really shitty takes that are really, really terrible. And let me tell you something else as well, right? And why it bugs... Well, first of all, it bugs me because the guy's a criminal. The guy should be up on charges for attempted murder, and he's not. But in addition to that, selfishly, we know the world's kind of shit, right? Like, look around the world. There's the incident that I just spoke about today. There's the incident in Scotland that makes you realize how terrible people are. But it's kind of like COVID, in the sense that the world was terrible, but at least you could watch TV. The world was terrible, I was watching TV, wrestling was the state that it was. I also used to watch The Walking Dead. Many of you guys that have been following this channel for a long time know that me and my buddy Bird, for a very, very brief period of time, did a follow-up show called Walking Stuff and Dead Things, which was a lot of fun, didn't last very long, is what it is. So, when COVID happened, I would watch Walking Dead, and those of you that watched Walking Dead would know that Talking Dead came on afterwards. It was the Chris Hardwick interview show with all the actors and all that kind of thing. I'm making a very long-winded point, I'm sorry. But when COVID started, yeah, they already had the episodes of Walking Dead in the can, so Walking Dead was just Walking Dead. They didn't go the Grey's Anatomy route, thank God. But Talking Dead was being done live, and it was a Zoom call, as was necessary at the time, but it was like, here's the thing that's supposed to distract me from how shitty the world is, and now that shittiness has infested the show, and I couldn't watch it. I'm not watching a Zoom call interview when the whole world's on a Zoom call right now. Very, very similar to this in the sense that all the stuff coming out around this, oh, we're going to make excuses, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do identity politics, oh, you know, people only want him investigated because he's part of this particular group or this particular identity politics cluster, whatever. No, we want him arrested, and as I said, small box, bottom of a small hole, because he's a criminal, because he tried to kill somebody. I don't care if you're purple. Arrest him, charge him, convict him, put him in a hole. But that all those excuses and all those types of things that come out around something like this are part of what makes the world shitty. And here's me trying to avoid the fact that the world's shitty. I'm just going to watch some wrestling, right? It is what it is. But now the shitty has infested the shitty infested, you know, everything when COVID happened. But the shitty mentality, the shitty, oh, you know, certain people are just allowed to do stuff, has now once again infested the wrestling. So on a selfish note, don't fuck with my thing. And on a humane note, don't try to beat somebody to death. You're a coward. You waited till his match was over. You double-legged him from behind, and I don't even know how that's a thing. Okay, kudos to you. You lifted up a guy twice the size of you after he'd performed a wrestling match. It's just bad. And then you learn about the guy. I didn't know anything about Nox Pro. I didn't know anything about Psycho Stu. What I've learned about the guy in the past week or so is that the guy used to be in the armed services to some degree. I'm not sure what rank or anything like that. Doesn't really matter. Went out there, served his country, had trouble acclimatizing to civilian life, used wrestling to acclimatize to civilian life, used wrestling to help him cope with PTSD and talk to other people about PTSD, because wrestling is a platform, and you use your platform to talk about world issues like PTSD, like what service people deal with and all that kind of. So here's a good guy doing all the good guy things, and that's the guy you want to beat unconscious after he's already unconscious, and give him a couple more blows to the head because, I don't know, daddy's money's going to come save you or some shit. Raja Jackson, small box, bottom of a deep hole, don't let him out. It's not going to happen because the world sucks. But fuck that guy. And fuck YouTube for flagging this channel for hate speech because I put up an icon that just said 3 letters, just said fuck Raja Jackson. Cool. How much you want to bet if I chose another politician's name and put fuck that guy in there, nobody would have a problem with it whatsoever. That's why guys like me, and yes, I do talk about Steven Crowder quite a bit. Steven Crowder is the one that inspired me to take this show over to Rumble. I will take this opportunity to say, if you guys are listening to this on YouTube right now, I appreciate you. You guys have been with me since 2010. Can you believe that? We're not growing by millions, we're growing by 1 subscriber at a time. A large portion of you I know are coming over from the Wrestling for Life Network show. Shout out to those guys. I'm not nearly as unbiased and I'm probably not even as good a people as they are over there, but if you've seen me over there and decided to come over here and see what I do, I really do appreciate it. But YouTube can fuck off as well. Come find me on Spotify, come find me on iTunes, come find me on Rumble. I think I'm still on Amazon. I'm going to try and get onto some other things because the YouTube thing is fucking ridiculous. Entirely besides the point. Fuck Raja Jackson.